I'm not afraid of losing 500,000 followers overnight.
Nicki Minaj has deleted her entire Instagram account because she had one of the largest mass unfollowings in the history of followings. This is crazy, Patriots.
So Nicki Minaj was on Turning Point USA? I mean, I've been gone for a couple of days because, I haven't been feeling well. Still don't really feel 100%. But Nicki Minaj was on the stage with Erica Kirk.
And that's what these black rappers do in America. When they get in some sort of trouble, she in that mess with her ex-bodyguard, all that stuff. Allegedly, she owed the dude millions because of what her husband allegedly did. Like, the judge ruled on it and everything. Why do y'all align yourselves with Republicans when you running from a crime you committed? Because you want them to pay your way out of it. So you will sell out your own fan base and your own people because you too scared to do the time for the crime you committed.
Nicki Minaj tells black women to stop attacking white women.
If as black women, we felt we're not being represented and not being admired for our beauty, if we felt like that as black women, why would we want to do that to other women? Why would we now need to make other people downplay their beauty so that we can feel, no, that's not how it works. I don't need someone with blonde hair and blue eyes to downplay their beauty because I know my beauty.
Nicki Minaj is a raccoon. First of all, to bring black women in it is crazy. Shut up.
Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about Nicki Minaj and the reason why she got cancelled. But before we go there, let's go back before the spotlight. There was a girl called Nicki Minaj, born in December 1982, in the St. James district, Port of Spain, in Trinidad and Tobago. Though she moved to Queens at the age of 5 to live with her mother, before the wings, before the accent, before the records and the charts, there was a black Caribbean girl from the Queens who was told direct and indirect that her voice was too loud, her ambition was too much, and her place was supposed to be small. Today we are going to talk about Nicki Minaj, not just a superstar, but a full story and the struggle, the hunger, and the controversy, the genius, and the cost of becoming one of the most influential rappers of all time in a space that was never meant for women to dominate. Nicki did not just enter hip-hop, she disrupted it. She kicked the door open for a real core woman in a male-dominated industry. What a female rapper could sound like, look like, sell like, and forced the culture to reckon with women who refused to be boxed in by race, by gender, or respectability politics. But with that power came backlashes, criticism, and misunderstandings, and the level of inspection that the male artist doing the same or by worse really faced. This is not a fan edit, and this is not a takedown. This is the real story of Nicki Minaj. Went from Nicki Minaj, an immigrant kid with a complicated home life, relentless driven to culture icon, changed the conversation around black women in the entertainment. If you care about hip-hop history, black excellence, ambition, or what it actually takes to win, the odds that are stacked against you. This story matters. Stay tuned, I will be back with more.
Nicki Minaj has gone full MAGA and she is getting backlash from fans everywhere. And this might have just started another rap beef because Cardi is calling her out. She made a public appearance with Erica Kirk holding hands as they walked out to her song Super Bass at the Turning Point USA American Fest. It truly only gets worse from here because she had some things to say about our current president. She said that this current administration makes her feel proud to be an American. A couple hours later, the White House posted all the positive things that she said. She also said that boys should be boys and there's nothing wrong with being a boy. And this statement just felt very targeted. Cardi B even chimed in saying, "This is embarrassing. I know Billie has her blocked now, MAGA Minaj." The Democratic Party even called her out by replying to all this going on saying, "Checks out, pedo protector." Pitchfork allegedly named Nicki's entire online presence as the worst moment in hip hop this year. I think a lot of fans are just like, we're really watching Nicki Minaj destroy her legacy over this administration. Like, she's just been messing up her career.
This one thing just ruined Nicki Minaj's career, and no, I'm not joking. Yesterday, Nicki Minaj basically publicly endorsed Erica Kirk, and people are livid. If you guys didn't know, a big portion of Nicki Minaj's fan base is Democrat, so obviously that did not sit well, and has actually caused some fans to start boycotting her music, saying they're removing it out of their playlist. Right now, a lot of fans are heartbroken and confused because she was a Democrat until recently. The first hint is when she started interacting with Trump, and the second one is she literally talked about it in a song she featured in.
Cardi B just called Nicki Minaj insecure, and here is what she said. Right after Cardi dropped her new album, the shots started flying again. Nicki and her fans kept dragging Cardi's numbers into the mix. Cardi clapped back on X. "Why you keep bringing up my album? You've been in the game 16 years. Compare yourself to Rihanna, Taylor Swift, Drake, Beyonce. Those are your peers. I was in high school when you came out. What the F is you comparing yourself to me for?" Cardi's saying Nicki's avoiding the big leagues because against Drake, Rihanna, or Taylor, she stands no chance. So instead, Nicki's fighting the freshmen, and Cardi's calling it insecurity.
Two women, two massive careers, two different generations of hip-hop success, and somehow one argument turned into one of the most talked about beef in a modern rap history. No diss tracks warning, no subtle shades at first, just tension and side-eye. Tweets, interviews, and boom, a fashion week moment that shook the culture. Today we are breaking down what really caused the beef between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. Not the rumors, not the Stan Wars, not the headlines that designed for clicks. We are talking ego, respect, and motherhood industry politics. What happens when a gatekeeper meets a newcomer who refused to wait for her turn? Because this was not just a rap beef, this was about who gets to sit at the top and who decides that. You have to understand what Nicki represents. By the time Cardi B entered mainstream's rap, Nicki was not just a female rapper, she was in the female rap industry. For nearly a decade, she dominated charts, featured awards, and influence. Nicki fought her way into a male-dominated space, often feeling like she had to stand alone. And because of that, she developed a strong sense of territory and control. Then came Cardi B, the former stripper, turned into a reality TV show star, turned a rapper raw, loud and funny, and unapologetic herself. Cardi B did not just come in asking for permission, she came in winning, and that's where the tension became a competition and disrespect. Early on, fans noticed little things, Nicki declining collaborations, interview comments, but feeling blocked. At first, Nicki denied any problems behind the scenes. There was a friction behind features, charts, position, and industry politics. Nicki felt like Cardi B was being pushed too fast, receiving opportunities that she herself had to fight for years. Cardi B felt like Nicki was undermining her behind the scenes, warning artists and producers not to work with her. And hip-hop perception matters as much as facts. Things went public with a song Motorsport featuring Migos. Cardi B believed that song was supposed to be collaboration between her and the Migos. And later, Nicki jumped into the track. Cardi B, on the other hand, felt like she carried the song, but later accused Nicki of changing the verses. Hearing Nicki's, the track became a symbol of mistrust. From that point on, it was not just a friendly competition, it was a quiet hostility. Motherhood changed the rules. That's where things got personal. In 2018, Cardi B had just given birth to her daughter Culture. Nicki liked and later unliked the tweets that criticized Cardi B's parenting. And for Cardi, that crossed the line. This was not about music anymore. This was not about chance. And this was not about respect as a woman and a mother. Cardi has just said it herself. Once motherhood is involved, all industries, politics went out of the window. Then came New York Fashion Week in 2018. Cameras everywhere, celebrities in the room, industry elite watching. Cardi B confronted Nicki Minaj face to face. Words exchanged. Security stepped in, and Cardi B left the venue with the bump on her head. Later posted online, explaining that she felt disrespect. And when fans turned into critics,
MAGA Minaj has not only put the final nail in the coffin on her career, but I hope she realizes that the people at Turning Point USA will never let her sit at the same table. This is a marriage of convenience for them. They are exploiting and taking advantage of her popularity, hoping it draws in new people to their base, but they will toss her to the side as soon as she stops being useful to them. I grew up in a family full of MAGA. They would never, ever treat someone like Nicki Minaj the same way that they will treat their own. It's just a fact. And she's going to learn this. And I think it's going to be the hard way. And she deserves it.
So I'm assuming this is probably true because you can't find Nicki Minaj's page anywhere on Instagram. A lot of people are upset with her after she went on stage with Erica Kirk. And the accusation is that allegedly she lost over 10 million followers overnight. She deleted her Instagram account after losing 10 million people in one day. Profile is not available. Could this potentially be the largest unfollowing of someone ever?
I believe that Donald Trump and the conservative movement in this country selected Nicki Minaj because they needed a replacement for Candace Owens. Remember, Candace Owens has fallen out of favor with the Republican Party and the mainstream conservative white agenda because she's now exposing the Zionist control of the conservative movement and of the United States government.
Nicki Minaj is losing her shit, or she is trying to stand her ground right now. The fact that 10 million people unfollowed her in a matter of like hours, and this wasn't something that like people were talking about to like amp it was just like a mass, everyone saw what happened at that festival, and then they decided to unfollow her all in one day. 10 million. So what did she do? She went to that festival, right? She called Trump, talked about how good looking he was, called him dashing. Apparently she's trying to get her brother pardoned for something that he did. So I guess that's why she agreed. But then to JD Vance, she called him an ass and then laughed about it with Erica Kirk. They laughed about it. Okay? So I'm like, wait, 10 million people. Are these 10 million people who are mad about her sucking up to Trump? Or are these people who are mad about the Kirk jokes? Anyways, it gets even crazier. Because now whenever you go to look up her account, it's gone. Nicki Minaj has deleted her Instagram right after 10 million people unfollowed her. Now, people are sharing that you can actually block her on Spotify, and people of these 10 million people, they're now posting, talking about how they're not just unfollowing her on social media, they're now blocking her like across the board. So I get it at this point.
Nicki Minaj is on her white supremacy tour like it's a multi-city residency. She leaning so hard in these conservative spaces that she needs knee pads. Now, we talked yesterday about the fact that she turned up at Turning Point, but she's also popping up on Fox News. And I said this before and I'll say it again. Nicki doesn't have enough financial currency to pay Trump to get what she wants. She ain't got billionaire money, so she's trying to pay in another form of currency. Access. Optics. How many people of color can she bring over with her like party favors? That's the payment. That is the deal. Because see, her relevancy is low and her impact is shaky. And desperation got her moving like a Roomba stuck in the corner. Just going in circles, bumping into the same nonsense over and over again. Nicki would rather be around people that don't like her but clap for her every time she breathes than actually be around people that won't do her no harm but won't kiss her ass. She wants praise, not protection. She needs to feel seen. She needs to feel chosen. So she walks straight into the Trump universe like a stray cat when they hear a can open. I just gotta ask, At what point do people wake up and accept everybody that look like you ain't for you? Some folks will sell the whole block if that means they're gonna get a seat at the table.
When she suddenly wiped her Instagram account, like it was nothing, like it never existed. How does someone go from being crowned by the culture to being questioned by the culture? We are not here to cancel Nicki Minaj, and we are not here to keep her either. We are here to slow down the story, to separate facts from feelings, and talk honestly about what really happened and why people felt betrayed, and why the internet decided that Nicki Minaj was no longer safe to love. This is not about gossip. This is about power, politics, black celebrities, and what happens when you refuse to fall in line. Before we talk about MAGA cancellation or Instagram deletions, we have to understand what Nicki symbolized. Animated, aggressive, pinky Caribbean girl, loud. She didn't ask to be accepted. She didn't demand space. For many black fans, especially women, Nicki represented creativity and freedom, financial independence, not apologizing for ambition. So when later Nicki started expressing opinion that did not line with mainstreamers, progressive, black politics, it hit different. Nicki Minaj has never publicly campaigned for Donald Trump, but the perspective did not come out of nowhere. Several moments that fed into it. Political non-conformity. Nicki repeatedly stated that she does not blindly follow political parties, especially Democrats, something that already put on black celebrities under inspection in the US. In America, black public figures often expected to be openly public shame controversy. Never challenged the mainstreamers. He questioned COVID vaccination mandates and shared personal and connected the backlash was immediate, and instead of being deducted, she was mocked for political, dragged by mainstreamers media, labeled irresponsibility. From that moment on, the internet started placing her in her right-wing adjustment box whether she planned it or not. Nicki later appeared open to conversation with a conservative learning platform and a commentator, something that many celebrities avoided entirely for critics. That was enough to say that she was siding with them for support. To look like she was refusing to be controlled, cancelled in a traditional sense, disappear. What happened instead was something more than just border. Selective culture distancing. Awards shows cool. Media coverage shifted tone. Industry alliance went quiet. Online fans spaced fractured. A black digital space, questioning democratic politics, is often treated as betrayal. She did not just lose her platform, she lost an institutional protection. And that's a big difference. Nicki Minaj has deleted or deactivated her Instagram account, came after intense public backlash and harassment. Instagram was not just a social media for Nicki, a direct line to fans, a space where criticism was just constantly and personal, a space where political and personal attacks blended in together. Deleting her Instagram was not just about hiding, it was about control when you're a black woman with millions of followers. No PR filters, no opinions. Silence become the only boundary you are allowed. It's not merely about MAGA. This is about who black celebrities are allowed to disagree with, how quick dance is replaced with a label, and how black women are punished. Political independence. Nicki Minaj did not just get cancelled, she became controversy. She got targeted because she refused to perform obedience. In America, especially in black public life, that it's often a crime. You don't have to agree with Nicki Minaj, but you should question why disagreement equals to exile. Because if one of the most powerful black women in music can be reduced into a label the moment she stepped out of the line, what does that say about freedom? Let me know what you think about this video. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe.